So you're new to Genshin, you do a 10 pull on the current banner, and while you don't get a 5-star, you do get 4-star Ningguang. Now what do you get with Ningguang besides Beidou Special Friend and the richest person in all of Teyvat? Well, Ningguang is a catalyst wielding Geo user whose burst can hit a lot of different enemies for a lot of damage. I'm Kessie, Mango, whatever the hell you want to call me. And because not everybody is AR60 with 36 Heart Abyss, I decided that I was going to make videos that hopefully anybody can understand. So if you do learn something, do be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And with that being said, let's get into this video on Ningguang. So just like we do with every single one of these videos on YouTube, we're going to look at the current build of the current character that we are using in this video. One, it might be a look at a future build, or two, if my Ningguang is doing more damage than yours, it might be the level, the weapons, the artifact. It'll let you know what it might be that's allowing mine to hit more. So my Ningguang is level 80 out of 80 with around 1500 attack and 56 EM. Her crit split is 50 over 144 with 115% energy recharge, and she does have a Geo damage goblet on her. She is running a level 70 Solar Pearl at Refinement 1. She is running a 2-piece Marshmallow Hunter and Archaic. She is C4, and I want to talk about the Constellations before we get into the video. So her C1 means that her normal attacks will do a little bit of AoE, so you'll see a little bit more Geo damage kind of flying around. Her C2 means that her skill Jade Screen will reset whenever it shatters. So you'll see her skill reset more often than it normally would. C3 is a normal one for her burst, and C4 means that our characters just take less damage to get an elemental resistance with Jade Screen for 10 seconds. That one's not going to change much. Her talents are 6, 5, and 9. Okay, so first we're going to talk about Ningguang's normal attacks, charged attacks, skill, and burst. So her normal attacks are going to be pretty standard for a catalyst user where they're going to always have the element, right? So she is going to shoot these Geo rocks out to hit enemies and do Geo damage. Now, whenever you do a normal attack, you get these that are kind of floating behind Ningguang in the circle, right? With a maximum of 3. When you use a charged attack, it is going to deal more damage the more of these there are. You get them from doing normal attacks. So as you see here, we're going to do a charge attack with Ningguang, and you're going to see that there are going to be multiple rocks flying out that are going to hit enemies. If we do normal attacks between our charged attacks, then we are going to send out more rocks with her charged attacks. Now, her charged attacks do take a little bit of time to do. She is a slow attacker, but whenever we introduce other elements and get shields going, it's not going to be as big of a deal. Okay, so now we're going to look at her skill. Her skill is going to put up this Jade Screen, which will do a couple of things. First off, it will block projectiles. You can see these guys behind the screen trying to throw these cryo things at us. They're hitting the screen, they're busting right there. They're not hitting us. Number 2, whenever you walk through the screen, you get a Geo damage bonus with one of Ningguang's passives. It is her second passive that gives you this bonus Geo damage from walking through the screen. And it is any character that walks through the screen will get the Geo damage bonus, not just Ningguang. Now, whenever you do use her skill, if there are enemies nearby, it will do an instance of Geo damage to them as well. So now we're going to look at her burst, and her burst is going to shoot a lot of large Geo chunks at enemies, and it is going to hit a lot of them. Now, if you use her skill first, before you use her burst, then the Jade Screen is going to break, but also turning into a tower that will shoot out more Geo chunks. As you can see here, it shoots out a lot. You're basically doubling the amount of Geo chunks that go out during her burst. So the correct way to do it would be to set up her screen, walk through the screen, and then use her burst. With having C1, it means that I can easily put her screen up again. Something else that you're going to notice in this is that I'm going to be using her burst a ton. That is because her burst has a very, very low energy cost. I believe it's at 40, meaning that it's really easy to get her burst ready to use off of cooldown. So as soon as the cooldown ends, I'm already using her burst again. Next, we're going to look at a beginner artifact set. So a beginner artifact set is going to be a 4-piece martial artist. It's going to get up your normal and your charged attacks, which from her playstyle, you'll see she's going to use her normal and charged attacks a lot. But the 4-piece, whenever you use a skill, it is going to increase the damage of the normal and charged attacks even further. So that's going to be really, really good for Ningguang. So if you do not have a 4-piece martial artist, then you can do a 2-piece and 2-piece. Either a 2-piece martial artist with like a 2-piece berserker, a 2-piece martial artist with like a 2-piece resolution to get up her attack, or 2-piece resolution and 2-piece berserker. Those can all be very good. For the main set on these artifacts, if you can do it, Then you want to do attack Sands, geo damage Goblet. If you don't have a geo damage, then just do another attack percent. And a crit rate or crit damage Circlet, whichever one you're in more need of. And again, if you do not have a crit rate or crit damage, then just do another attack percent. Ningguang can appreciate all of the attack percent that you can give her. So if you do not have a geo damage and then like a crit Circlet, then you can just do attack percent across the board. So now we're going to talk about weapons. So I have the Solar Pearl on Ningguang. Now this weapon is a battle pass weapon. That's the only way that you can get it. So it is possible for somebody that is a beginner to have this weapon if they've done the battle pass. So I'm going to include it in this video because the only thing stopping you from getting this weapon is the battle pass. Now I do want to look at this weapon. It does get up crit rate, which can be good for Ningguang, and its passive is really, really good. So normal attack hits will increase skill and burst damage. Skill and burst hits will increase normal attack damage. And because you're using all of them with Ningguang, this can be a very, very good weapon for her. And it just looks really, really good on her. It fits her aesthetic, at least this outfit. It fits this outfit on her very, very well. If you do not have the Battle Pass weapon, Solar Pearl, you can use Mappa Mar. Mappa Mar is a craftable weapon, and you are given this recipe whenever you first start the game. So this does get up Elemental Mastery, making her shields a little stronger, but the passive is pretty good. Triggering an elemental reaction grants an 8% elemental damage bonus for 10 seconds, max of 2 stacks. That'd be 16% that you can give her in geo damage bonus. You can increase her geo damage bonus by 16% every single time you cause an elemental reaction. So because this is a craftable weapon, it will not be too difficult to get this above R1, meaning that you're just going to get more elemental damage bonus the more times you refine it. And if you do not have either of those two 4-star weapons, you can do Twin Nephrite. This again gets up your crit rate, and its passive is defeating an opponent increases movement speed and attack by 20% for 15 seconds. This is at R5, but it would just give you another 20% increase of attack on Ningguang, which you can appreciate, and the crit rate. So if you're looking for a 3-star weapon, this is going to be a very, very good one. Okay, so now we're going to look at a beginner-friendly party. This is assuming that you've only ever pulled Ningguang. You've done one pull on the current banner and you got Ningguang. Every other character in this is going to be one that the game gives you for free. So first, we're going to have Noelle. 1, to have some healing. 2, Geo Resonance. Increases shield strength by 15%. Additionally, characters protected by a shield will have the following special characteristics. Damage dealt increased by 15%. Dealing damage to enemies will decrease their geo resistance by 20%. So with that being said, if you are creating shields with Ningguang, then they're going to be a little bit stronger and you're going to be getting a damage boost and the enemy's resistance to geo is going to drop. So Ningguang is going to be able to do more damage because of the geo resonance. Next, Kaya and Xiangling, both of their bursts do off-field elemental application, with Guoba being able to do more off-field elemental applications. So we should have plenty of shields to go around, plus they'll be able to cause melt reactions together. So the way that this rotation is going to work is that we are going to have Guoba out as much as possible. We are going to be using Xiangling's burst, Kaya's burst to have those two spinning around, and then we're going to allow Ningguang to produce as many shields as possible, using her skill, her normal attacks, and her burst to create geo shards, so that way we have a ton of shield chances, so that way we can get the geo resonance. Once all of the bursts are over, we are simply going to be dropping Guoba, trying to get their energy back up. If I had Xiangling and Kaya built with some energy recharge, this would be going a lot smoother and a lot faster, but I don't. I use these characters in all of these videos. You'd think that I would actually build them out for some of these videos with like an actual beginner set. I don't, which is something that I should probably do. Having Noelle in there, using her skill and her burst together to heal the whole party can be very, very good if anybody is getting low on HP, and having her in the party does give Ningguang the geo resonance. So we're going to be building up everybody's bursts until we have them. Then we're going to be using Xiangling and Kaya together, going to Ningguang, having Ningguang just shoot as many geo rocks out as possible, creating shields, doing damage, walking through her screen. Always remember to walk through that screen once you get that passive. Putting the screen up before we use her burst, all of these different things using normal and charge attacks with Ningguang. Because her charge attacks do get stronger with normal attacks, it's kind of good to do at least 2 normal attacks and then a charged attack. One, it'll let you build up the rocks behind her. It will also give you a chance to make a lot of shields for the Geo Resonance, and it will make her charge attack stronger, but you're not wasting too much time doing the normal attack. So 2 is like the optimal number. That is going to be it for this beginner guide. If you learned something, do be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I will see you in the next video.